Oh my gosh. Whew. I literally ran. I was like, I have to be on time because I'm already late if I'm on time, right? We're trying to work on our punctuality. Um, I had these charging in different areas. One was at my sister crib, so I had to like run to her crib and get the other piece. So I'm about to connect so we can get better audio. But that was hilarious. All right, I'm back. That was so funny. It took like so much energy. Whew. Okay. So thank you to the one person who is here tonight. I can't see who you are, so don't freak out. I can't see who you are. I know some people freak out when you say, "Oh, somebody's in the chat." I can't see who you are. Terry, hey Terry. Am I saying that? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Terry, Tyree, Tyree here, Terry here. Hey, welcome. Am I saying it all wrong? Welcome. Hey. Oh, you said perfect. Which one? I said it two different ways. Which one? Did I? The first one, Terry. Terry. Okay, that's so pretty. I love that, and I love how you know, write the vision and made it plain. Perfect. Hey Terry, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Are you a part of SNT, NSLS nominations? What brought you here this evening? Thank you. Thank you. What brings you here? You ready to get into some smart goals? Wow, okay, period. Second SNT. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate that, Terry. I'm going to try and make this as interactive and as fun, and you can walk away from this live feeling like, okay, I may not have been able to speak, but I really feel like I was a part of it. I really was able to apply some tidbits, to my life, to my goals, to the leadership position that I'm trying to go in. Thank you. Hey guys, and thank you for the like. Thank you. I love that like ish. But yeah, so thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am pretty much going to wing it. Hi. Hi, Camilla. Hey, girl. What's up? Thank you. Welcome. Y'all, if y'all can you please leave me a thumbs up? That's definitely a part of a participation period. Period. Makes your girl look good. But I appreciate you guys being here. I want to discuss tonight my new, thank you for the like, thank you, my new SMART SNT goal. And I'm so excited because it goes along with my first goal that I was able to accomplish. If you haven't, I have a prior live stream where I, just talked about what my goal was. And, I broken down my SMART goals, literally. I broken it all down to try to guide you guys to see how like I went about it, and I accomplished that goal with a lot of the viewers in that live, which was like amazing. Like utilizing my channel to not only accommodate me but accommodate others, and like we're all like getting credit. Like this is what pouring into one another looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just me, it's not just you. Like this is actively happening. So because of that live, I am now officially inducted. How okay, period. All right. So now I'm officially inducted. And the topic for tonight, we're still doing leader amongst leaders. That's still the topic. I think that's just very important. I don't want to move around, shift around. I want to stay within it, because NSLS, National Society of Leadership and Success, if you are a leader, you're going to get through these induction processes. Anybody could be nominated. Anybody with, decent grades, doing very well with at least a 3.3 can be nominated. But, it takes a leader to, say, hey, you know what? That's a no brainer. I want more. Let me just add that to the list. You know what I'm saying? Let me do what I need to do to, get ahead, learn, accomplish more goals, build my leadership skills. And I felt like that was my decision making process. Like I didn't see where I couldn't benefit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, I was invited, I was nominated as a prestigious member. Now what? That's it. Nah, thank you for the likes, guys. So I felt like, okay, let me do this. I have friends, I have family, but I wanted to do something different because I wasn't like, I don't know, I'm weird. Like my personality is so weird. Sometimes I feel like, like I'm not shy, like I'm not afraid to express myself, but at the same time, I don't like a lot of attention. So I do things in a particular type of way. So where like I can get traction, but I'm not getting too much. Like that's why I don't have a TikTok because I know like everybody blow up off of TikTok. I don't want that much attention, you know what I mean? But I did feel like, because when I first, got my invite for, you know, NSLS nomination and to do my SNT steps and stuff, I was trying to do my research and I was trying to get a real feel on like how the meetings should go. And even though I am able to find things that are like written, like how people went about it, it was just, I'm more of a visual type of person. So I like to go to YouTube a lot and I like to get a real feel of things. So that's why I decided to go live with my S&T meetings. I did my research. I wanted to make sure that I was able to, do it in a way where you can be accredited. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody got any questions, they see your participation in the chat, they see that, you left your name, you did the steps that, at least I asked for you to do that I feel like would accredit you, as an S&T member. So thank you so much, Alex Perry. Hey guys, hey guys. Wow, Diva. Thank you. So true. Yes. So I'm honestly, again, freestyling. I'm very new. I'm currently in school. Oh my gosh, I'm a freshman in my first year, pursuing my bachelor's of science in business administration with a concentration on project management. So delegating meetings, is kind of my thing. I kind of do it behind the scenes, at my job, but I don't know. I feel like I do it, period, but it's just trying to get more formalized. Like, it's so funny because one of my colleagues, that I'm working with, I kind of just explained to him, like, I'm not really technical. And he was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't speak corporate. And I just love that. Like I don't speak corporate, but your girl is smart. Your girl got a lot of great ideas and I have perspectives and I'm open to new perspectives. So that's why I feel like we all can engage here. I'm definitely interactive. Like I read through the comments, so I'll throw out those things. And I'm not new to lives. I go live all the time about whatever, to be honest. Like I go live all the time, but that's why I felt like let me do something where I'm natural and where I know I can gain in, where I know others can gain in. And I thought it would be cool because I can document this forever and it will always be up for anybody to be able to go back to. Thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate it. Yeah, so that's pretty much what you're getting into. You said, no, I didn't cut them off to draw them back in. I'm older. Like, I'm about to be 38 on Tuesday. So, when you get older, your eyebrows get thinner, okay? Like, don't get it twisted. I know it looks good. I'm definitely almost 40 in a couple of years. And I'm a mother of four, okay? So, yeah, that's what it is. I didn't do it purposefully. But yeah, okay. So, I want to talk to you guys this evening about my new SMT goal, which stems from my previous ones, my previous live, where basically in my last live, my goal was to thank you for the other like, thank you. My goal was to basically just make sure that I had set up 3 weekly meetings, whether they are bi-weekly or back to back. I gave myself an extra week, like I had a deadline and I completed a week before that deadline. So I gave myself an extra week just in case I needed it to complete that SMART goal. I went over that SMART goal in full details in my last S&T live stream, which was my first, which brought me back here because I felt like it, the numbers did a little bit of cute. I thought it was cute. and I didn't really, post it in, the SNT group. So I said this time, let me try and post it in the SNT group, because I feel like, people were able to get what they need out of it. And if I haven't responded to your comments, if you commented today, I did see you right before going live. I will comment to you. I will respond today after this live. That is what I have on my SMART goal, okay? My actionable goals, okay? So let me read this. Terry said my first SNT SMART goal was start daily walking routine. Okay. Start with walking 2 to 3 times per week, 3 miles per session. I love it. That's the measure. Start March 28th and increase a mileage by an extra mile by April 28th. Okay, so you gave yourself a month to increase an extra mile each week, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Purchase correct. All right, and then it stops. I don't know if that's me, but it was getting good. Can you please do me a favor and leave that like in the comment section? Like, this is the chat, but I would love to see that in the comment section. I think that was so far broken down very good. Like, so we see your goal, your specific SMART goal is you want to have a walking routine in place. And by doing that, you started to build up, small actionable habits that you can stick to, that you gave yourself a month to fulfill. I think that's dope. Congratulations. So how do you feel like you have been doing? So this is your second S&T meeting. Since setting that SMART goal, how do you feel you are in your S&T SMART goal journey? You said, oops. What happened? What happened? What happened? I'm crying. Thank you for the extra light. What happened? What are you oopsing about? I'm just curious. Did you do it or not? Got it. Chat only. No, there is an option to, go live for, other people to join. The thing is, I tried it twice, and both times I don't know, the audio, the video, it did something crazy. So I don't even think I have those lives because it just didn't, like, I don't know what it did. So I do want to try it. I do want to test it out. You know what? Maybe I will do a live just to test out. Like, it will just be called test. Testing, 1, 2, 3. We'll just go live to test that feature out and maybe play with some other features because I see that they have other features on here that I don't really explore. So, we'll do a testing live. But yeah, so I love that, I think sticking to a walking routine is amazing because me personally, I have one myself. I work in corporate. We have a campus, pretty much an old campus, college campus. So, where the cafes are located, I'm on the 3rd floor. I'm on all the way on the, what is it, this north side? Yeah, the north side. Like, so I have to walk and I wear heels just about 3 days a week that I'm in the office. Like, every now and again, I wear flats, every random occasion. But I do that purposely because, I feel like I get my steps in, like I get to walk, and I feel like I don't have to do too much. As long as I do that 3 times a week, I'm good. So that's my walking routine. Like, I'll also go to like the further cafe that's kind of like a little bit down just to get more steps in. And it helps, you know what I mean? So I think it's amazing to have a good walking routine in general. That's an amazing, specific, actionable, measurable. What else is it? Measurable, actionable, rewarding, and time specific SMART goal. Did I say it all right? Yeah. So I had to readjust some things. I got distracted a lot with other activities. And you know what? That's fair. That's fair to admit to yourself. I feel like we shouldn't feel bad for having to rearrange things in our lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we should feel comfortable with saying, you know what, I was okay with doing it this way, but now that I'm no longer in hindsight, like, now that I see it for what it is, like, in this moment, I think it's best that I do it this way. Sometimes some things are not meant, some methods are not meant to carry on into, every phase of your life, So, that makes sense. Hi, Vi Sharma. You said you are from Delhi. Is that India? Dubai? I don't know. You work in the police, yeah? Well, I'm a good girl, so I have nothing to worry about, I don't think. You said you have an accountability partner, Terry. This is Terry. You said you have an accountability partner. I told her what my goal was. She checks on me. She suggested that since I was having trouble, that I should start with counting my steps. Absolutely. I think that's great. I did hear that, like when it comes to like fitness, it's best to have an accountability partner. And that's a really great idea that she's giving you. Now, do you ever like work out with your accountability partner? Like, I'm just curious. What do you do? What do you do? In life, it's like, nah, I do a lot. Like, I I do a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a mother of four. I do content creating, you know what I mean? I'm also a corporate base, so I do a lot at work. I wear a lot of hats at work. It takes up a lot of my time. Thank you. um, yeah, I work hard. I have a circle of women who are amazing. I feel good being a woman that have amazing women in my life. You know what I mean? You say you are looking very cute. Gracias. Thank you. Uh, but yeah, so I'm currently in school for project management, and I'm just trying to take my life from here to there. Like, I'm just tired of instability. I know that I have a lot that I'm very ambitious, so I have a lot that I want to pursue before I retire by 45. Yes, early retirement along the way. Okay. So with that being said, I'm just trying to do what I need to do now. And all of this is a part of it. It's nothing but the grace of God, that I would even be here today to, host an SNT meeting as an inducted NSLS member. You know what I mean? That's the glory of God, like honestly. And me being 38 in a couple of days. Something I always wanted. Did I actually see me being able to say like I have it? No. But I knew that it was a desire of my heart, and I knew that God, wanted me to fulfill that desire. You know what I mean? When I started to be obedient to my purpose, that's where God led me to. And on that note, happy resurrection day. Okay, so yeah. Let me go somewhere in the comments. Tell me more, friend. We have plenty of time for that. I'll get back to y'all. So I really want to share my SMART goal and my goals for this week, the things that I'm going to be focusing on. So since my last SMART goal, my first SMART goal, the SMART goal that made me an inducted member, was basically just to stick to 3 meetings so that I could become an inducted member. And now that I have done that, now that I'm an official NSLS member, I want to utilize my resources. I want to utilize and take advantage of the resources and the benefits that awards us as being inducted members, because the few things that I picked up on, just being the behind the scenes, peeping the view in Facebook, group chats and seeing things that people are posting, I noticed that there are some people that felt like, the honor society wasn't beneficial for them. And I also noticed that, when they leave those posts and people respond to it, for the most part, it's because that person didn't know that they had these benefits awarded to them, or didn't apply themselves, or even didn't finish their S&T meetings, the last step of being an inducted member. So I wanted to make sure that, like, it just doesn't stop there. The goal keeps going. So my next goal is, now that I know that I have access to scholarships, okay? And my job did an amazing job. Does an amazing job. paying for my school. Like I pretty much don't have to pay anything for school, and we're talking about just under 70,000. Yeah, I don't have to almost pay anything. So I think all I have to pay at most is like if you round it like 1,500, which is nothing, and it's not due like right away. But that will be something that I'll pay right away. But now that I am an inducted member, I have access to scholarships that I can apply for. Who ain't applying for it? Yeah. I know that a lot of times a lot of people don't take advantage of those scholarship programs. And I just felt like I would just never be that one, like God is good because through my company, the connection and partnership that they have, people are like, oh, you go to DeVry University. Yes, I am a DeVry proud college student. Okay. Yes, I am. Definitely. Since being in this school, I became a dean's list, 3.56. Holla at me. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Also, now an inducted member of the NSLS. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Just saying. Okay. I've been exceeding at work. So these are little accomplishments that, goals that I had on my list that I wanted to check off. So with that being said, I'm utilizing the last goal for the future goals to go forward into other goals that I have. It's all aligning. It's all one thing at a time. So now, because of the scholarships, now I have a goal where basically I want to secure a minimum of $5,000 in scholarship funding to go towards my schooling. Like, if I want to, I don't know. I feel like that was the cap for me. Like, cause I don't know what to expect in scholarships. I never like applied for a scholarship outside of being an inducted member. That's not like direct, but I've never actually done that before. I had been a part of programs where I was given scholarships, but never actually applied. So this is a whole new process for me. So I want to secure $5,000 in scholarship funding to go towards, my balance that I will have to pay starting next year. And I want to also apply to at least one scholarship per week. I want to actually secure like 5 names. I don't know how big this list is going to be that we have access to once becoming an inducted NSLS member. I don't know if it's like 200 or it's just like 5 or 10, 15, 20. I don't know. But depending on what makes sense to me, I want to try and get at least, I mean, at the most, depending on 10 scholarships that I can apply for. And with that being said, gather the names, the list of names that I have and apply for one a week. And by May, a little over a month from now, I have a deadline of May 29th. Yeah, let me just make sure. Yeah, by May 29th, I want to have at least 5 or 6 scholarships that I have applied for. And that's just for me personally. Like, I just want to, take advantage of being, a part of an honor society. Like, how beneficial are you? Okay. So, the fun part is I get to share that with you guys in real time and see if these steps actually work, because there are a lot of people that I've seen, leaving messages like, oh, it's a scam. It's a scam. Ooh. And I'm just like, really? Is it a scam or you just didn't put in the work? Because that's a lot of times, that's just what it is. You said that's a great plan. Thank you. Thank you, 7. Thank you, 7. You said $5,000 in scholarship funding. That's a fantastic goal. Thank you, Terry. You said you don't know Hindi. No, I am a child of God. Like today is Easter, which we call Resurrection Day. I'm not too certain on the actual dates. Okay. But long story short, he has risen. I gotta stop saying rose. That's my comfortable slang. But he has risen on the third day and he has brought a lot of people with him. you know. So God is good, but yeah, that's the God I serve, Jesus Christ. I cannot get to God without going through Jesus Christ at all. Like I wouldn't even be here. This is all the glory of God. I wouldn't even be here right now if it wasn't for Jesus Christ. So yeah, he has risen. You said that's great. Always great when your employer pays for school. DeVry is a good school. Thank you. I appreciate it, Thierry. Thank you. No, somebody tried to come for me, on Facebook one time. She was like, yeah, you would be a part of DeVry. Like, yeah, I mean, they have an accelerated bachelor's program. And out of freaking, what was that? 70,000? All I have to pay is literally, it's less than 1,500. I think I'm exaggerating the number. It might be 11 because I already get 49% off my college tuition, and then they have a grant on top of that that pretty much covers everything based on what my job is willing to cover. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, why wouldn't I? Oh, yeah, go ahead, make fun of me. But at least I don't have that debt. And it hasn't done me wrong at all, you know? So I'm definitely divide proud for sure. You love, I love you, Yar. Will you be friends with me? We can be YouTube live stream friends. I don't call people friends easily. All right. So yeah. So I want to kick this off. I can't even say kick this off. We are so not in a kickoff mode. But I want to apply some pressure right now and give you guys a little bit of an icebreaker. Okay, ask you guys a question. Now you have to participate. This is a question that I'm asking to be credited. Okay, and we are going to go over um, what you need to do in order to be credited. Okay, and that's very important because if you want to use this and you're putting it down as your resource in your SNT reports, they can come back here and they can look through those comments. You know what I'm saying? And if they see that these are my, rules, my instructions to receiving that accreditation and you're not following that accreditation, I love making up words, but yeah, do you really get the credit for it? So I want it to be as interactive, and that's why I will do my due diligence to make sure if you are in the comments, I'm going to be interacting with you. So it will be a two-way street. I'm not going to leave you hanging or anything like that. I did notice that I had some I had seen some comments right before going live, so we will take care of that after this live for sure to make sure we get that participation aspect, because whether you're catching the live stream currently presently or you're catching the replay, you still want to make sure you're able to get your accreditation. I love doing that, right? Okay, so yeah, another thing that I want to identify, this week within my actionable steps, my goals, is the different payment methods. So upon reading it, just doing a quick overview of it, I discovered that, they can either pay you, some scholarship programs pay you directly, some pay the school directly. So with that being said, I want to kind of map out. I know that I don't know. I don't know. I want to do a little bit more research on that because I feel like at first I preferred the money to come to me, but I feel like I prefer half and half because $5,000 is really a stretch. I feel like once I reach that goal that I need to reach the exact number, I'm not going to need it. But it's like, okay, I can get an upgraded laptop, like I can get upgraded equipment for school because honestly, I'm still mad that it's going to cost me $600 to fix my MacBook that I just purchased. Just purchased. So yeah, I'm just a little lazy on that right now. I feel some type of way about that. Like I just purchased it. So yeah, but I still have it. It's gonna get done. I don't want a new laptop. I don't want to buy it. This is they have brand new laptops right now that they just came out with Apple, and it's gonna cost me the same amount that it would to fix it to get a replacement or whatever. And I still want my MacBook. Okay, so anyways, I just want to figure out like what method, because I was thinking like maybe half and half, I don't know. I'll do a little bit more research, but I feel like I definitely would want to have an opportunity to be able to have like some that will be, directly applied to like whatever payment method I choose, and then some that will go directly towards the school. But I would like to keep a focus on, having more control over that money if need be. Um, with that being said, the other thing that I look forward to doing in the upcoming weeks is, submitting my first application, creating a 529 account for myself. That one is really important to me for, school purposes, because I feel like if I'm not able to keep it and I was able to raise a certain amount of money, I have children. You know what I mean? I can deviate those funds. You understand where I'm going with it? So I feel like it will be a good asset overall, and I can make the best advantage of it. But yeah, so I feel like, creating the 529 account where I can store the scholarship money, if it can be awarded directly to me, it will be awarded to a 529 account, that I have that I can eventually, pay. I have a son that's currently in school. I have a daughter that will be in school, going to college soon, and I also have two younger ones. So, just setting up, thinking about the future, playing with options. You never know, it's all up to me. However many scholarship programs I apply to, I can talk all day, I can write all day, I can type all day. Like that's literally about nothing. So I always felt like if that's all it took was to get a scholarship, then I should have as many as I want. But I know me and my life, and I'm very detailed, so some things take a little bit long. I want to continue to do some more research. I want to make sure that, I'm selecting the right scholarship programs that are tiered and designed more towards me and what I want to do, or what I want, or how I want to receive the funds, and expand if need be. And update like my scholarship tracker, which is something I definitely want to develop within week one until we get to week two. A scholarship tracker where I just track, list of names of the scholarship programs, the deadlines, the requirements, and the due dates, something like that, where I am able to stay on top of it, update as needed, that type of thing. And what else? I think that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much it for now. That's what we have. So basically, I still didn't pick out the restaurant that I want to have dinner at. I'm so bad. Like that's crazy, right? So, anyways, I really want to make sure I do this so that I have enough money for myself, because I feel like God supplied all my needs. He made this happen. You know what I mean? Like to where I don't have to pay anything. Literally, not even the part they thought I was going to have to pay. You know what I mean? Like God is so good. So I want to go down this road to see if I can successfully do so. Because if I can and I do, and I'm really good at it, it will definitely beneficial or be beneficial towards anybody watching, that wants to apply, and they can see like this is not a scam. This is how it's going. Like it is what it is. I feel like it's like a competition, like based on the rules, they gotta select you. I don't compete where I don't compare. All right, now we're gonna go scroll back up and take a look at the comments. Oh yeah, I still didn't give you guys my question. 1 second. Hold on, because I'm about to tell you. Okay. Okay, so I want to put the focus back on being leaders amongst leaders. That was the topic of last week. It's one that I want to carry on into this week. Maybe do the next two. That'll be like a month worth of leader amongst leaders, because I feel like we need to keep a focus on being comfortable being in rooms with other leaders. This is not like, oh, I have to be seen, I have to be heard, I have to be like, it's not, it's not ever given that. And I feel like a lot of people like to compete with other leaders in the room. I actually, speaking of, I actually see something similar going on in my hometown. And I don't be knowing what be going on over there, but something came across my way, and where it is leaders amongst leaders that are uncomfortable being leaders within the same room. And I feel like with that being said, it just takes some, leadership skill building. You know what I mean? So being able to take a step back and allowing the next person to shine, even if it is a program that you run. You understand? I would love to be able to share this platform. That's why we're going to do that test run. I would love to be able to sit back and just be like, hey, you take the lead. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many people that I admire in my life currently who inspired me to do and seek what I'm doing and seeking now. And that takes being comfortable being in rooms with other leaders who you are able to see and learn and grow from. If you are too proud and you feel like you're unteachable, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to be able to grow in life. You're going to be stagnant. You're not going to live up to your fullest potential because you don't see them being stagnant. Oh, too proud. I can't take lead. I can't take direction. I can't take orders. I can't take background. Like, you got to know where to play your place and when. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people feel uncomfortable when it's not their turn. It's been people's turn for years. And Mo's just act like, it wasn't nothing. You said that's a good idea, scholarship tracker. Yes, indeed. We got to get that together. That's my goal for this week. You said, dang, it is true that when you go black, never go back. Black is the fear out. Sorry, guys. This is one of those type of we're all lives. There are many ways to get a college education than the traditional way. All are good. Amen. I tried. Like, this is my third time trying school. You know what I mean? But this time it just had more meaning to me this time around. But I did get some debt the first two times, for sure. Not major, you know what I mean, but definitely still paying on. Isn't it crazy? We're still paying on stuff where there's trillions of dollars owed. Trillions. But shout outs to all the different like programs that offer funding. Like, I just think that's amazing that, people are using their money and their funds and resources to help, the next generation, the next crew. Yeah, thank you though, guys, for your support. So yeah, with that being said, I want you guys to think about, yourself as a leader. I've seen a lot of great um versions of leaders you would like to be as you develop or leader that you currently represent. Now I want to know, as a leader, what are some things that you feel like, not some things, let's just name one and I'll definitely give you mine. But name one thing that you feel like as a leader that you can correct. Like maybe a flaw, a disadvantage that you have as a leader that you feel like you need to work on. Because I don't feel like, if you feel like you're unteachable, like, there's no space to grow, there's no space to evolve. Me personally, I'm not gonna lie, I struggle with this a lot. Once again, for me, it is being on time. I can work better on being on time. Like, I shouldn't have to get to the last second to pop up. Like, I should have been sitting here ready to go, not running out of breath like I was in the beginning of this live. Like, I made it. Like, no, I should be able to be sitting cute, sitting comfortable, ready to go live as a leader. I have my stuff together. I have my notes in order. I have my priorities together. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like as a leader, being punctual is the thing. Like, and when I heard, the speaker broadcast in our induction process, who was I listening to? Was it Oprah? or was it? I feel like it was Jim Carrey. It might have been Jim Carrey, but one of them had mentioned like being a good leader is, you know, showing up on time. And I'm like, dang, that's one thing I struggle with. So you said one thing you can correct, and this is 7-7. You said one thing you can correct is taking initiative to make changes or speak up first. Hey, hi, Kawanza. Kawanza, that's a pretty name. Hi, welcome. So yeah, 7-7. You said one thing I can correct is taking initiative to make changes or speak up first. That's a great point. You're welcome. That's a great point. I did touch on that in my first SNT live stream. That, you know, starting off, like I learned to speak up because when I wasn't speaking up, I wasn't being heard and I got overlooked and my talents weren't being shown. So I had to advocate for myself, let alone, you know, other people, of course. So with that being said, I started speaking up for myself probably about like maybe after the second year of me being, you know, within my department. And once I started speaking up for myself, I had been rewarded for it. It felt like, you know, they don't care. Like, you know, I felt like I was like, you know, I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, you know, I didn't want to come off a certain type of way. But, you know, when you're in a different type of atmosphere, some people like that ish. And I like being around the people that like that ish. So when I started speaking up, that's when things started getting handed to me. So much so to where now I have got pulled into a very special project within my department, hand selected by the top executives amongst three other people, all men. I'm the only female, let alone black woman. You know what I mean? And just to be selected and be a part of that project, you know what I mean, to work so closely and to be respected, because literally what was told to me is because we got selected because not only are we top performers, but because we speak up. I was like, what? Like that was my favorite part. Like what? Because I always like cringe because like I'm so vocal that I know a lot of people will take me the wrong way. So like it just makes me uncomfortable being in certain places, you know what I mean? Work especially. But when you get comfortable and you know the work process and you learn corporate, like you got to talk corporate. And I've always been told throughout my journey in corporate was like they love that I speak up. So it just was something that I kept sticking to, and it'd be like, oh my bad, like I'll apologize, maybe I'm always respectful, but you know I feel like a lot of people do not speak up. A lot of people, you know, get walked all over because they don't speak up when they see that there could be a better process in doing things. That was another thing. I had done another project with two other young ladies that we implemented. We were called to implement this process because they knew that we were going to be the ones to speak up. You know what I'm saying? Like, not only were we top performers, but they knew we weren't going to be hesitant about saying, hey, you need to change this. This couldn't be there. Y'all shouldn't be doing that. Like, we were that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You said you feel like it is hard. This is Kayla Butler. Hey, welcome. Hey, girl. You said like, okay, I feel that it is hard for me to put my ideas out there to receive feedback. Okay, like, okay. So what is it? Are you afraid that your ideas aren't good enough? You're afraid of your ideas, you know, I guess getting shunned, like shut down, like people not receiving your ideas. Like, is it like a shy thing, or is it like a confidence thing in what you can produce? Because I feel like that's, you know, you had a point. Like there's room for, you know, to be able to practice, I guess, methods that will help you increase that confidence. It just sounds like a little bit of a lack of confidence, to be honest. A lot of times that's just what it is too. But if you have the ideas and you know your ideas are like, because I know there's a lot of people that got some bright ideas, but not everybody have the brightest. And I know if half of the people put out what they think, this world probably would be a better place. But a lot of people aren't confident, you know what I'm saying, in their thoughts, in their work, you know what I mean? And it takes some of that. You said you don't feel like I'm a pushover, but most of the time I'm quiet about things. Speaking up as a leader in some situation causes me to become a target for stress. So I just remain quiet. I get that too. I know people like that. They non-confrontational, I get that. And that's a good point, because then that asks the question, like, as a leader, to be non-confrontational, and somebody in that aspect, I feel like I've encountered a lot of great leaders that were non-confrontational, instead of, I guess, how they say gentle parenting. I feel like, great leaders do that in a way. And I feel like that would just be your method, speaking up as a leader in some situation can cause you to get some stress. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like what would be the solution is finding a solution where you can help build and overcome that stress. You know what I mean? Overcome, I guess, the triggers that you feel like might be attached to it. Like, what is really the root of it? Like, I feel like it could be tied to being non confrontational. It could be tied to, just maybe talking points, like having the attention on you, because I know sometimes that's how I get. It's like, okay, all right, I gotta go live. I gotta do this. Like, I haven't been live in a month, and now I gotta have all this attention on me. And, like, sometimes it can get a little awkward. Some words I can't pronounce properly. Like, I get it. Sometimes it's a lot. But I do feel like you recognizing that is a great thing, because like what you need to work on. And that's the whole purpose of me asking that question. Because we know that we have things within us as leaders that we need to work on ourselves. You said it can be, and this is 7-7, it can be scary if you're not used to it or had a bad experience. But I've seen in my own life how speaking up more opens many doors. Clock that T. And all of that you said, 7-7, is correct. Exactly as you said it. And Terry, you said confrontational leadership is definitely an acquired skill set. Yes. Yeah, and let's stay on that subject for a minute, because me as a leader right now, I feel like currently I am dealing with, like, having to being a leader and having to, be in a position where you stand your ground, what I mean, assert yourself, and you do it in a way where you are respectful, but at the same time, you let them know, like, this ain't that. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like that's one of the things now that I'm being, like, challenged with that. I feel like they said in the last SNT meeting, give yourself grace. The leaders that left, feedback in the comments during the chat, they said, give yourself grace. A good leader gives themselves grace. So I'm going to give myself grace. But at the same time, I feel like I still, even in high rise situations, because I have days where, like, if I have days where I feel like, not today, Satan, because you got the right one. You know what I mean? And I just feel like I don't want to be, like, short with somebody. I don't want my frustration with somebody professionally to get in the way with me dealing with them, with me working with them. You know what I mean? Like, I still try to keep a smile, but then I be feeling fake. And I don't like that. Like, Jesus, like, I don't like that, But that's just me really trying to be professional and trying to be doing my best and keep it cool, even though, like, I'm not feeling how things are going. I feel like I have to, learn better with that. I won't say, I feel like it's non-confrontational, but it's very uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the associate is uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. And now, if I bring it to the manager's attention, if I bring it to this attention, now this situation will be uncomfortable. You know what I mean? I'm quiet. Terry said I'm quiet and reserved. However, don't walk all over me. carry. I can tell. I can tell. I know one. Takes one to know one. I can tell. Just don't play with her, okay, y'all? Just don't play with her. But yeah, I just feel like as leaders, what we learned tonight, we need to speak up. We need to build a non-confrontational leadership skill, which I feel like I have mastered. But what happens when you reach that point where you just like, have y'all ever had that day, that one time, that one day at work where you just like slightly snap and it was like, whoa, it was like, yeah, I told you. It's not a snap, but it's just like I don't like playing coy with people. I don't like people playing dumb. I don't like people playing my intelligence. I don't like, like when I know you're like a genius, I don't like you playing dumb. So like things like that just irritates me. It frustrates me. It's irritating. Then when they act like they don't understand and it's like you understand. I feel like I could work on learning what to do even after all the patience that I had. I feel like I could be more, because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like if it comes down to a person trying to gaslight me at work, I'm going to let them know that they're trying to gaslight me at work. I think that's the problem. I don't know. I should have had something to drink here, but yeah. Let me make sure I got all the comments. All right, so let's get into our next question. As a leader, what would you say your strengths are? Name three. Three strengths that you have, three leadership skills that you have. Me, I feel like number one, I don't have to be in the front seat. I don't have to be the one seen. I can be amongst other leaders and I can take a step back, let other people get their shine. It's not that, only speak when necessary type ish when it comes to me. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's a good leadership skill to have. Once again, like I said, my hometown, I seen there was drama going on. These leaders don't know how to be in the same room with other leaders, and that's the problem. They're too busy trying to outdo the other leader rather than working together. It's not about being seen or who started what or who did this or who funded that. It's about coming together as leaders, and having an opportunity to shine amongst each other. You know what I mean? And giving the next room to shine and playing a role into that. So I feel like a lot of people drop the ball on that. So me, that's one good quality skill that I have as a leader. I can just take a step back. Another thing as a leader, I'm not afraid to speak up. I'm not. Like, it's a strength that I have. It's a strength I developed. I developed it because it's something that I didn't always have. One thing I learned, in my profession, and what I do for a living, I'm an analyst, but I wear other hats. I'm a financial analyst, operations financial analyst, and I wear other hats. I'm a mentor. I'm a deputy. What else am I? I'm a trainer. I'm a quality controller, quality assurancer. I volunteer. What else? I do a lot. I'm a mother, full-time student, so I do a lot. I wear a lot of hats, and I still feel like no matter what, everywhere I go, I speak up. You know what I mean? I feel like just me having my whole Facebook, YouTube channel. I spoke up. I started this channel originally because, I was going through a breakup and I was looking on YouTube trying to find women. I seen a lot of male videos, talking about breakups and leaving your man from other men. But I didn't see anything, when it came to women. So I just felt like, women need to hear from other women that are going through those emotions in real time. So I started, speaking on things that I was dealing with. And it turned into a celibacy journey, a dating journey. It was always a lot. Now I think it was always a lock journey channel, That was where it originated, but it turned into something else. And that's when I started speaking up. And then not only that, but I also like coming with speaking up, like you also have to learn balance in speaking up. Like you don't say everything. You have to learn to think before you speak, even in a millisecond. Watch yourself. Say things. Don't always just blurt things out. Say things with ease. Speak slowly. Speak clearly. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Type ish. All right, let's go back. So you said, Terry, your strengths. I listen. I quietly take action. I work well on a team. We love a team player. I love it. Yes, I love it. I love it. Great attributes. Terry, you said you busy. I am. I'm very busy. Like it's crazy. Very busy. But I have a lot of like time off too. I buy an extra week of time. So I play and I relax. I do both very well. Work hard, play harder. um 77 said being inclusive, staying on track with goals, delegating and recognizing strengths and weaknesses. Ooh, I love the sound of that. Why y'all listing all of my skill sets? I love it. I feel like, yes, like I could totally relate to y'all. You guys got it going on. No cap. Kayla Butler, you said good ideas, working as a team and non-confrontational. Yeah, I'm gonna need. Can y'all help me with what you do in high intense? I'm not gonna say I'm confrontational. I'm not. I can be online, but in real life, like I feel like I need to work. I don't like the nice nastiness of it all that comes with corporate. I don't F with you, you don't F with me, but we have to work together. And you have to listen to what I say. And I don't want to be seeming like, like I want to say things patiently, but I also don't want to be, manipulated and gaslight and undermined either. So since you ladies are non-confrontational, can you please give me some tips, that can help me maybe in the future? Okay, so Kiwi, hold on, wait a minute, Kiwi. You're Kawanza, right? My strengths as a leader are effective communication when necessary, period. Active listener, that is definitely one of mine. And non-confrontational. See, no, I have way too many non-confrontational young ladies in here. Can y'all please send them in the chat? Give me y'all best tips. Best tips. Real time. What would you do? Thank you. I love it. Balance is good. Amen. You said I like 7, period. Thanks. I like you too, Terry. Oh, y'all so cute. Love it. Oh my gosh, it's about to be 7 o'clock already. Kawanza said also being empathetic as a leader is a plus. Yes. I have seen some leaders that are serious about things that causes no emotions to be shown towards things. Yes. Yes, yes. I'm gonna touch on that, Kawanza, in a minute. Terry said non-confrontational tips. It's not always about you. And I try to think of that. I really do. I always try to think, I do. Even when the mother F is making it about no play. My tip for being non-confrontational, this is 7-7, is document everything. Period. Document everything and assess what needs to be addressed and what doesn't. Yeah, I feel like that's how I do. I document everything. When I said everything, some people ain't even allowed to talk to me without putting it in writing first. I do not play those games. Send me an email. Eh, I'm not responding until you put in the email chain. Thank you. You're not playing those games. Period. Yes. And not everything deserves a reaction. All right. So, how do you feel about maybe you were friendly with somebody, right? Professionally, and just professionally work of ethics. I'm very big on work of ethics. I'm extremely big on that. You have to work a certain type of way. You have to behave a certain type of like me. You have to take your job seriously. Yeah. So when I see people doing certain things, I would just be like, yeah, maybe like, I was friendly towards them, but I don't like how they move as, like their work ethics don't align with mine. So I just be like, fall back and they feel some type of way about that. How do you handle those situations? Because outside of work, a lot of times, like I felt like, when I realized that, there's a relationship, whatever type of relationship it is that, just doesn't suit me or fit me or I don't suit, and I just like step away from it, I find myself being put in the box because this person feels the type of way because I no longer like communicate with them anymore. Like I can still communicate with anybody professionally because it's never to me, it's never personal. But it's other people taking it personal. I don't know how to deal with that. And I feel like that's confrontational and I feel like I don't know how to handle that. All right, let me go back up. All right. Okay, so assess what needs to be addressed and what doesn't. Exactly. Okay. Um Kayla Butler said, if I'm having an issue with someone, I'll ask, well, what do you feel I could do better? I think that's great. That is great. Because I'm ready to have that meeting. I'm ready to, because I don't want things to be bad. I know that me as a leader, as I mentioned, you always want to leave things good, even when there's a little bit of tension. So I'm always thinking about like, how can I make this better when it matters? Now, if the mother effer don't matter, then they don't matter. Okay. But when it comes to my job and me being a leader, I want to make sure that I keep those things in line. And I think that's a great question because I'm very empathetic. I always like to place my like literally the reason why I'm where I'm at in my seat is because of other leaders who were empathetic towards me. You know what I mean? That gave me a shot, gave me a chance. So I think all of these are great tips. Put yourself in their shoes. You know what I'm saying? Try being empathetic. Is sometimes it's not about you. And I've seen all those things, because as a leader, I'm learning that sometimes the outside noise do carry on into the work office and it's not about you, and I'm good at seeing those things, so I love the tips that you guys are giving. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. So what can I do? What would you do? What do you feel I could do better? Yes. Okay. That part. I think that's a direct, let me write that down. That's a direct question. Because I want to set up a meeting and, maybe next week come back. I did say I wasn't going to do this every week, huh? Here I am. So, but, next week maybe come back and give you guys an update. Maybe I'll add that to the actionable goals this week for my SMART goal. You know, that aside, just a goal because we discussed it within this S&T meeting. Now where's my notes section? Oh, yes, I definitely there's certain goals that I'm going to get into next week that I wasn't able to get into that I look forward to. But the main one that I wanted to focus on right now is setting the groundwork for applying for my scholarships. Thank you for that other like. Thank you. Applying for my scholarships. Once again, my deadline is May 29th. I want to raise at least $5,000 for scholarship money. I would like to utilize, our membership for us inducted members that we have with the NSLS, because I think I did see up to 450,000. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Am I tripping? I did see a big number that, scholarship funding that they have. Okay, so let me keep going because you guys are showing off. You guys are leaving. I'll turn the light on. You guys are leaving some really great tips. Okay, so 7 said, when we see it written down, we have a different perspective. Amen. God fearing, so write the vision, make it plain, 100%. It's a totally different view. Like even on my iPad, like I have to write it down. I have to see it. I have to visualize it. Kawanza said, I agree with 7. 7 about documenting everything. Yes, 100%. I do not play that non-documented thing. And that's a great tip, for a situation like that, because that's what I have been doing. Kawanza said, I'm always sending a per our conversation email. Woo! I feel like that's confrontational though. Cause that's me. I'm good for it. I will highlight the part of the conversation. This part right here, that part right there. Cause you missed it. The first I'm saying. I feel like there's a little conversation. That's what I want to work on. I want to work on that. No, I have been trying to change the way I've been really trying to be like sensitive. Like, how would I receive it? Because I really just be like, girl. Document, no reaction. Yeah. I feel like they don't see my reaction. My reaction be behind closed doors, but like it's a lot. I'd be like, dang. This is why I just want to be project manager. Let me delegate my own work. 7 said, I agree. No reaction is key because anything you say can be used against you, period. Yes, and it will. So that's why I'm big on, handling matters through Teams, on the phone through Teams, communication through Teams, through email, because nothing I say can't be held against me. This is all professional, but I still feel like, like for instance, me being quality control, quality assurance, I feel like, when you fail somebody, they don't like that ish. They hold that against you. Like you got a personal attack on them. And it's like, look, I'm going to fail you because you did it wrong, but you can't be mad at me because you did it wrong, Terry says, so what? Stay professional always. Period. Always stay professional. That's right. I agree with that. Terry said, not tripping. Great goal. Yeah. We just need a few more minutes of woosah and we be all right. Kawanza said, it's really not because people will twist your words. Exactly. They will. They will twist your words. But, I'm also one of those that will CC the whole company if I have to because I just don't be trying to twist nothing. Don't be trying. I give clear instructions. I follow everything, appropriately. I just know how I feel on the inside. I just, it'd be a ticking time bomb and I don't want to lose it, so I still want to keep things professional. I still want to keep it where, I can still have a conversation and just be like, hey, because I feel like I did, but we were on different terms then. I feel like now that, they started being quality controlled, they ain't like that ish. Like, I don't mean no harm, but it's my job. If you understood the things that go on at my place of employment, you would understand. Okay, I'll back off. It's really not because, okay, I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. I see Kwanzaa. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the other like. I appreciate you guys. I really, really do. All right, we're going to do one last leadership question, another recap, and wrap it up. Okay. All right. So as a leader, what's that question? Hold on. As a leader, define your role. Now we know what type of leader you want to be. Define your role as a leader um, in a situation that you are in your workforce. What type of leader do you feel like you represent at work? So me, yes, I wear many hats, but overall, I feel like as a leader, I represent the leader that is dependable. I feel like my senior execs, my senior leaders come to me because they know they can count on me. They know I'm going to get the work done. They know I'm not going to play with the work. They know I'm passionate about the work. And they know I'm going to keep it real. They respect me for it. You know what I'm saying? They respect my expertise. So I feel like they, based on our rapport, they found me being dependable. So what type of leader are you that you feel your role is as a leader in your current role at work? And let me go over once again the SMART goals. So with the SMART goals, SMART being specific, you want to make sure that you have a specific goal, a goal that is more intentional. As in mine, for instance, I would like to raise $5,000 worth of scholarship money, funding, whatever you want to call it, to apply towards my remaining balance that I have, and to also open up 529 account with. Okay, or put money into. Okay, so the other thing is I also eventually need this week to pick out at least 10 scholarship programs. Hopefully, all 10 can come from NSLS. I don't know. I haven't explored it, but that's what my job is for, to explore, to do my research, to gather that information. If I need to step outside of NSLS, then I will. But my main goal is to see what NSLS has to offer me. So if I can get $5,000 worth of scholarship money based on the scholarships that they have to offer me, then I wouldn't need all 10, right? But you want to have a list, because if you don't get that one, you don't get that one, you don't get that one, you know? Another thing that I look forward to is, confirming payment, finding scholarship programs that, may pay directly to you, into your 529 account, or to the school itself. And also making sure that, I schedule these meetings weekly. So I will see you again next week at 6 o'clock. Yeah, I think I have another meeting on Saturday too. I do. I have another meeting on Saturday. Shout outs to you. You know who you are. We have a meeting where basically I'm going to be doing online presence, just showing him how to work with building his online presence, which I thought was pretty cool that he asked, me to assist in. So, 2 meetings next week. I'm being fulfilled. But, want to make sure at least I have this meeting set up. I wanted to stick to 3 meetings attached to this. So this will be the first, and then I will do the next 2 weeks. And, just so that, those of you who are here for the first time, you get to get your full on induction through these meetings and your participation. And those of you who are here a second or third time, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just want to stick to those things, starting off, identifying my payment methods, choosing the scholarship that I want to apply to first, and weighing out those options. Yeah, so that's all there is for me. Let me see if anybody responded to the questions. My role, this is Kawanza. My role as a leader is to coach and develop my team to reach or maintain their goals. I'm also reliable and organized. I love that. This sounds like I could learn from you, because I'm trying to I'm actually working on like a coaching for my trainees, or just in general that I wanted to present to my department, because you get to get a gold reward too. So I definitely want to do it. But like a coaching tracker to where like, you just document your coaching sessions, what you went over, and you're able to track the coaching process. Um, I did do, I did develop a tracker that needs enhancement, so I just love you guys for showing up. You guys are dope. And thank you for the other likes. I got some real dope people up in here because it's like you guys all align with like my skill set, what I want to do, what I'm doing. Like, your input is so necessary for me. It has been so fruitful for me. Thank you. And Terry said, so I'm retired. I'm jelly. So right now I am focused on navigating my brand. New young autistic adult thought his next transition in life. He is my goal. God bless you, Terry. I love that. That is such an amazing goal. I love that goals, that a lot of you all have are not just focused on self, it's focused on the betterment of other people. Like, I love that give back, especially in your retirement age. You know what I mean? That's awesome. And then, yeah, you said I coach him, guide him, and I step back and watch how he moves. That's so beautiful. I check to see if he understands his environment. Yes, I love that. That attentiveness. Man, you can drop all types of like learning tips and anything, with that in the chat, and help other people understand. That is so amazing that this is what you're using your time for. I love it. Like, really, really good, kind-hearted people up in here. You guys are so helpful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, guys. All right, okay, I said that was the last one, but this is an important one. This is the one that I want to have every time. Leave something in the chat for the next person to see, or put it in the comments for the next person to see that you feel like another leader could gain from. Just a good tip. Just leave us a tip. The ones I got from the last live stream, a couple of people said, give yourself grace. I take that in. I love that. I feel like, that's something that I need to do because sometimes, some of us could be hard on ourselves and you don't give yourself enough grace. And that's something I preach to other people. But, I'm hard on myself. Like, I'm freaking out. Like, oh my gosh, I can be better with people. And it's like, even my colleagues are like, no, I watch you, Chris. You are very patient. And I'm just like, I wasn't patient enough, But I feel like because my frustration, I feel like people can see it because I'm no poker face. You said never give up on yourself, Terry. Yes, never give up on yourself. Oh my gosh, yes. Thank you. Yes, that is a great one. Woo! That applies in all areas in life. God is good. Kayla Butler said, my role as a leader is to pour into young minds as I'm moving towards becoming a teacher in the public school system. God bless you, girl. Yes, Kayla. I love that. Thank you. I'm a mother of 4. So, having really good teachers in the public school system matters to me. So I love your heart. I love your gentleness. No wonder you're non-confrontational. Women like you deserve to be in school settings, okay? Yes, thank you for sharing that. And Kawanza said, don't wait for an opportunity, create it. Biggest clock, period. Clock all of that. Don't wait for it, create it. It's so funny you said that. Like, I remember somebody acted like they was gonna give me an opportunity, and I don't know what happened with that. And I was just like, oh, don't worry about it. Went to school, started getting my own little accolades. God got it. I don't rely on no man but God. And 7 said, no goal is out of reach. We can do anything we put our minds to. Period. Oh my gosh. You guys are such great leaders. Those are all such amazing tips that I literally can take back with myself or have applied in my life at some point as a leader. So thank you so much for sharing all those great tips. Thank you guys so much for interacting with me on my live and joining me in this S&T meeting. I hope that you guys were able to take from this. I hope you guys were able to define your own goals in a direction that you need to get a feel of, what leadership is, being amongst other leaders. We all stood out today. It wasn't just me, it was all of us. You know what I mean? Having all an opportunity to give feedback so we can allow the room to grow. You know what I mean? All those amazing feedback, I'm going to apply it in my own life. Even if I had applied it in the past, it's just a reminder to be consistent in those areas, because that's what creates the leaders. So once again, thank you guys. And if you let me go over the steps to get accreditation. I love saying that. I gotta stop doing it to be accredited. You have to make sure you leave your name if your name is not already there. I know some of you, I can see your name. First name, first letter of your last name, initial, whatever, and answer all the questions throughout this live, which you all have done amazing at. And so this is really not to y'all. This is for anybody who comes back or whatever. But also, make sure you submit the SNT report. This counts as accreditation. Apply it. Make sure you think about your SMART goals. What are the specific, measurable, actionable, rewarding, and time specific goals that you have? And Kawanza Green Hawkins, period. I have Hawkins in my family. Are you from Connecticut? I have Hawkins cousins, okay? Period. But thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I will see you guys back again next week, 6:00 next Sunday. Thank you for all the information. Yay. Thank you. So glad I joined your meeting. Thanks to everyone for sharing. I learned so much. Thank you guys. I'm so glad you guys were here. You guys made this such a great interactive S&T meeting. It just made me happy that I was able to fight through, whatever I was going through to come here on live tonight. So thank you so much. You said, are you in Louisiana? No, I'm up in the tri-state area. I'm up north, babe. I wish I was. Y'all got some good food in Louisiana. But guys, I will see you guys again back next Sunday. I will keep you guys posted. Once again, thank you. Get those S&T reports. I'm going to see if I can go submit. That was the one thing I wanted to confirm before coming here. But, since I'm no longer, needing to do a S&T report, I want to see if we can still document our meetings. So I'll get back to you guys on that next week. But shout outs to you guys. You guys held this meeting down. You guys are some amazing leaders. I am going to take your tips and apply it starting tomorrow. All right. Peace and love and harmony, and be blessed. Happy Easter. Happy Resurrection Day. God is so good. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.